I saw Joe Spano's comments with, as long as it's not Fredo, because I can think about it. I knew it was you, Fredo. You broke my heart. Oh, this is Tim, this New York Giants trade teller, powered by the mighty FanDuel. That's FanDuel.com, the number one sportsbook in America, bringing you all the shit that just can't be fucking true.
Gentlemen, what brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
So I'm enjoying a day off yesterday. I'm enjoying a day off. I'm going to the Knicks game. I'm watching the Knicks Home Depot team play the Home Depot team, also known as the Charlotte Hornets. And I'm on the train. I'm flipping through my phone. I'm flipping through some articles, and I get an article that comes up about Dexter Lawrence. Dexter Lawrence says, or his agent says, that where did you go eat? Actually, we just ate at the stadium, and I had a bagel. I had a bagel. I had a bagel with cream cheese and bacon that we always go to right across the street from Macy's. But Joe, don't fucking don't fucking get me off track here. So I see this, and I see no, the Knicks game was not good. When Pacom.ea came in, I looked at my website. We're out of here. But we did get the Jalen Brunson bobblehead. I can't get it. I can't get it. My cord's attached. Hold on. We did get the venerable Jalen Brunson DoorDash bobblehead. Got like 100 of them because evidently they had so many leftovers. It was just terrible. So I'm sitting there and I'm flipping through some articles, and then I see the article about Dexter Lawrence. Dexter Lawrence, he's underpaid. He's underappreciated. He is a guy that is in some ways misunderstood. He wants $30 million. $30 million a year. He wants to be paid like Chris Jones. And I look back and I think about Chris Jones and I see what he did. And I said, okay, you know what? If you are comparing yourself to Chris Jones, Dexter Lawrence, you know what you're probably worth?
$1 million.
That's the first thing I thought of. Protect says if Dexter is worth $30 million a year, then I'm worth 35. I'm thinking I'm worth at least 20. Because then I see, I think it was Doug Rush.
Stupid giant Twitter posts.
He posts on Twitter or X the stats of Dexter Lawrence when he's in the game and when the Giants aren't, when he's not in the game. And his stats are just so much better when Dexter Lawrence is in the game and then when he's not in the game. Now you got to remember he plays about 78% of the snaps. So 22% of the time, he's not in the game. So being the venerable statistician that I am, I'm just lying because someone did this for me. Being the venerable statistician that I am, I went back and pulled all the Giants ratings and rankings and stats since 2022. Because this is what we need to talk about. This is what we need to talk about, the total decline of the New York Giants defense. This is what we need to discuss because people don't like to discuss it, but we're going to discuss it here because it's just what we do on the show. If you go back starting in 22, let's go back. We averaged 21 points. This was under Wink. This was the playoff year. We averaged 21.8 points, which ranked us at 17th overall in the league. This was, now you got to remember, Wink was a blitz happy fucking defense, but our yards per carry was 5.23 yards, which was 31st that year in the NFL. So while we at times had a playoff caliber defense, we had the ability to go out and stop the run. At times, we're gonna say at times, we just didn't do it. And this is what Dexter Lawrence and
King of the almost sack
sitting in the middle of that defense. But we didn't stop anybody. We could not stop the run. So we're so, but like I said, and that was a playoff caliber defense. But we gave up 5.23 yards a carry. Now, again, if I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to figure out who was in the middle of that defense. Who was in the middle of that defense? Oh, I know. It was Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams. We talked about that. Then we jump over into the 23 season. Wink is fired. You give up 24 points a game. You ranked 26th in the league in points a game. Your third down conversions is over 30. Your run defense improved. We went from 5.3 to 4.7, which was 30th in the league. So we got better. You can literally say the Shane Bowen defense came up like 7 up, and we got better. Defense couldn't get off the fucking field in 23. So now we go to 24. Our defense points allowed was 30th at 24.4. Our pass defense gave up 3,869 yards for 23 touchdowns and only 5 interceptions, which was one of the lowest takeaway ratios in the entire NFL. Our run defense, I'm going to say it, they improved again. Do you think it's 3.5? Do you think it's 3.8? No, 4.6. We were ranked in the bottom 3 defenses in the entire NFL. Could not generate any turnovers. So our run defense in 22 was 31st. Our run defense in 23 was 30th. Our run defense in 24 was 30th. Our overall ranked defense under Wink was 18th. In 23, it dropped to 16th. And in 24, it dropped to 30th. Our point totals went from 21.8, 23.9, 24.4. Are we seeing a pattern yet? Because we're not done with this pattern yet. 4-13 last year. Points allowed, 439 at 25.8. 28th ranked in the league. Our third down defensive percentage was 40.2% allowed. Our fourth down defense was 46.2% allowed. Total yards on defense, we gave up 5,595 yards, gave up plus 3,900 in passing, 2,470 yards. Our average yard per play was 6 yards. The defensive touchdowns pass allowed was 25. The completion percentage was 26. And our yards per carry, which ranked at the bottom of the NFL, was 4.7. There was no resistance against the run. Now, I'm still trying to figure out now who was in the middle of this defense. I'm still trying to figure that out. Can anyone give me can anyone tell me with this kerfuffle who was in charge of this defense? Who was running this shit show known as our defense? Oh, I know. It's called Dexter Lawrence. This is where I get upset with people. What happened to my thing here? There we go. I'm sorry. The whole thing moved. This is where I get upset. You take a look at how pitiful this defense is, how pitiful this defense was. We went from 5.7, 4.8, 4.7, 4.6, 4.8. So that tells me that there is a constant in this entire pattern. There's a player that's always there. Does anyone want to take a guess who he is? Dexter Lawrence. When I was creating the thumbnail, I almost called the thumbnail $30 million crackhead. Because I figured he just had to be smoking something. He wants to compare himself as a top defensive tackle or interior lineman in this league. He wants to say that he is better than anyone else in this league, or is at the top of his game at his position. Chris Jones at 31. Now remember, Dexter Lawrence is 29. At 31, had a bad season, but he still had 7 sacks. He still had sacks, 25 quarterback hits, and 12 tackles for losses. He also has 87 sacks throughout his career, which goes back to 16. Dexter has 30. Dexter's going to have to find some giddy up. Chris Jones anchors the center of the line. Our friend Dexter Lawrence doesn't. And I think I was talking to James Williams before I came on the show, and I said, you know what? And I said, you know, James, this is my kerfuffle. Is John Harbaugh's first like massive move? Now, free agency, I don't consider massive moves because we knew they were going to sign Likely. We had an idea when Tremaine Edmonds got released that they're probably going to sign him. These weren't contracts that would break the bank. His first big move, his first big moment as the Giants head coach, de facto GM, would be to sign Dexter Lawrence. Dexter Lawrence we've said this before, Dexter Lawrence hasn't been good in 3 years. The run stopping ability for the New York Giants has been terrible since before 22. And we all sit there and we're saying, we are going to pay this guy not to stop the run, not to sack the quarterback, and not to do things that a $30 million man would be. You know what? Here you go. So tell me, who's going to replace Dexter Lawrence? A rookie? Sure. Yes. We always get away from our players too early. No, he's 29 years old. So you're going to sit there and tell me when he's 30, we're going to be like, well, we didn't get away from this guy early enough. He was only 30. We got rid of Mark Bavaro early because his knees were shot and never the same player. We got rid of Phil Simms coming off a playoff appearance, coming off his second Pro Bowl appearance. We moved on from Joe Morris. The old Giants used to move on from guys. And this comes from Belichick, because Belichick, of course, came from Parcells, and it was the Parcells way. It was the George Young way. Get rid of the players when they're on their down trajectory. They're still high enough for value, but you get rid of them when they're at their career trajectory going down. There are plenty of defensive tackles in this draft, and if you think you can go out and get something for Dexter Lawrence, a second rounder or third rounder, some people say first round. I've talked to people in the league. They're like, if you get a 3 and a 6 for Dexter Lawrence right now, you better run and take it. Go get a Lee Hunter. We've talked about this. Lee Hunter, in my mind, with Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Brian Burns, is your plug and play defensive tackle. He's your plug and play nose tackle. Lee Hunter is a run stuffer. That's what he is, a gap filler. Sorry.
That's what she said.
He is a guy that if you take a look at him, he went. This is the thing that Dexter Lawrence hasn't done in years. Lee Hunter in college, and yes, I understand at college, wins at the point of attack. He's a natural anchor. He's a guy that has got a 6'9" fucking wingspan that can clog the interior gaps into the next level. Watch the tape. He is since his first day in college till his last day in college, Lee Hunter has gotten consistently better against the run. His gap integrity, it makes their opponents bring extra resources in to help clear the lanes because the linebackers and the edges have free shots. He creates lanes. Dexter Lawrence does not create lanes. This is a guy also that has played 51 games, Lee Hunter, in 3 years. So he's played, what he gets. The only thing I have against Lee Hunter is if you watch him when the play's not towards him, I'm not going to say he gives up, but he needs to understand that he has to be a heavy rotation player that always plays hard. And one of the other things that they knock on Lee Hunter is his long speed. I don't care that my 300-pound fucking defense interior lineman ran a 5.18. I want him playing in a 4-yard box. That's what I want my nose. If you go with a similar true 3-4 to either 86 or 90, I want him to be Jim Burt. I want him to be Eric Howard. Hell, I want him to be Jerome fucking Sally. And if you can't get up to get a Lee Hunter, we've talked about this before. There are guys. Last year was a perfect example. There were 11 defensive tackles taken before we took Darius Alexander. 11 other guys went off the board. That was such a deep and high level defensive tackle draft. And this draft is we talked about Mr. Corleone, but someone we talked about the other day was Dominique Orange at Iowa State. 6'2", 322 pounds. Another anchor. Another guy that swallows up double teams in the middle of the field, which creates what? Let's say it, lanes and gaps for your linebackers. Long arms, big hands. Sheds blockers. Understands his assignment. You got to love it because I always love the phrase I always love this phrase with defensive tackles because I understood it, but I never understood it. He's got active feet. And I always thought to myself, that's kind of weird to say that my defensive tackle has active feet. But then I thought about it for a minute. I'm like, well, you know what? Honestly, that kind of makes sense that he's active, that his feet are always moving. His feet are always in perpetual motion. He's not being just pushed around and not standing still. One of the big things about Mr. Orange, though, that they say is he doesn't disengage his blockers quick enough. But honestly, I don't have a problem with that because of the fact that if he's taken up two guys, that means I've created lanes for Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Abdul Carter. And again, I don't care that he's got limited lateral mobility. I want him playing in a 4-yard box. And if you don't want to reach that high, the kid Harris at Ole Miss. I like Harris a lot. And I do. I think he is a guy that he's played a lot. He's seen a lot of action. He logged snaps as a true freshman. He is a guy that's 6'7", big arms. He's another guy that's versatile enough to lie. We've talked about this before. He could be a 3 technique guy. He could be a 5 technique guy. He could be a 0 technique guy. He could do all those things. He's also absurd at fucking blocking kicks. He's got 6 career blocks on the reference to kicks. He could be overpowering at times with his frame. He can stack blockers, hold the gap with authority. I want to write that down. You will respect my authority. We need that sound effect. So yes, there are plenty of guys we can go out and get now and save the money. And then, you know what? I've said this a million times before and people get mad at me. But is Dexter Lawrence even going to be here when the Giants are good again? So if you parlay that money into a $30 million extension, when you get rid of him, you're probably still going to be paying some dead cap money. And you're paying for a guy that, if you take a look at what he has helped this Giant defense do since 22, we just went through all the numbers. Someone just needs to explain to me why we need to pay this guy. When if you take a look at the numbers he has produced, they don't equal the amount of money that we should be paying him. I think about, like I said, I was thinking about this a lot on the train. It doesn't make sense. Fuck, go out and sign Kalis Campbell. Kalis Campbell's 4,987 years old. But he can still do the things that we need Dexter Lawrence to do at 29. He can still produce at a level high enough. Kalis Campbell has not missed a game since 2022. He played in 17 games each year in 23, 24, and 25. And still produced 35 tackles, 6.5 sacks, averaged. And I'm not going to have to pay him $34 fucking million. I'd settle for Barry Caulfield as well. Fuck that. Yes, I would settle for Barry Caulfield. Barry Caulfield, a lot of people don't remember, was just give me Dalvin Tomlinson. No, not the current version of Dalvin Tomlinson. Give me the 2020 version of Dalvin Tomlinson. Dalvin Tomlinson is now 32 years old. But Dalvin Tomlinson was a player that got the most out of his career as a second rounder, the 55th overall pick. So for people that are saying, well, we can't get rid of Dexter because what, are you going to replace him with a rookie? Yeah. Okay. I don't have a problem with that. Dalvin Tomlinson as a rookie in 17 started 55th overall pick, started 16 games out of 16, 50 tackles, 30 solo, 20 assists, starting as a right defensive tackle right out of college. And I don't have to pay him fucking $30 million. Are we seeing a pattern? You don't need to break the bank on a defensive tackle who is sullen and truculent right now and is crying like a little. And listen, I understand he thinks he's underpaid. I get that. But we have to stop with the bullshit of, well, Dexter Lawrence I love it. Dexter Lawrence only makes $22 million a year. It literally makes my fucking head hurt. Because you're only talking about what Dexter Lawrence makes in guaranteed salary. You're only talking about what Dexter Lawrence makes in salary. You're not talking about what Dexter Lawrence makes in bonuses. You're not talking about what Dexter Lawrence makes in general. Dexter Lawrence, yes, if you want to talk about it, has only a base salary of 18.5. He's got a prorated signing bonus of $4.2 million. He's got the restructure bonus that we restructured his contract not too long ago, 2.7. He's got an active roster bonus of $1 million and a workout bonus, which I think he's going to forfeit of $500,000, which gives you a total of $26 million. $26 million, almost 27, $26,958,130. So he makes almost $27 million. I'm not crying for you, Argentina. Because people leave out the bonuses. People leave out the restructure shit. If you dumped him right now, you got a $13 million dead cap hit. But $13 million in savings. You dump him post June 1st, it's $6 million. If you find someone that's willing to give you, and I heard there was rumors and speculations that Buffalo may be potentially looking at him because James Williams told me this, and actually someone else told me about it last week. If you get a late pick from Buffalo in the first round, maybe next year, maybe get a second round, I'd take it. Let's see. What is picks? What are Buffalo's picks this year? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at their draft order for Buffalo. So they have Buffalo has the 26th pick, the 91st pick, the 126, 165, 158, 182, 220. Buffalo's got a shit defense against the run. It's one of their big problems. They've gotten rid of AJ Esperanza and a few other people. I think Joey or Jerry Bosa, whoever was there, is gone as well. If you give me the 26th pick, and I'm not going to be greedy, give me the 26 and the 168. I will sit there and lie to Dexter Lawrence and tell him, I'm not lying. I will tell him, Dexter, what I hear, the winters are lovely in Buffalo and Orchard Park. They're lovely. Very mild, sometimes even in the 40s. And then let Buffalo deal with his shit. Because I don't need a guy that's going to sit here and cry his little ass coming off a horrid season. Now, all of a sudden, he might have had an elbow problem. Oh, my elbow hurt. My doctor says, I told my doctor, my elbow hurts when I do this. My doctor said, don't do that. I said this before. When he sat there in front of his locker like a dickhead. No, man. No, yeah. Look at the tape, man. Look at the tape. Well, we did look at the tape, Dexter. You're not getting double teamed. No one fucking cares. Last year, nobody fucking cared about you. And again, well, look at the tape, man. Look at the tape. We did. Everyone did. That's why Joe Shane even said that Kayvon Thibodeau and Dexter Lawrence last year were both made available. And the only calls they got were for Dexter Lawrence. For Kayvon Thibodeau. You're building something here. You are building a new foundation. I'm not going to use the word culture because I hate that word. I hate the fucking word. We're building a new culture. Everyone builds a new fucking culture. Too bad the culture never works. We are building a foundation here. My arm is broken. I can't play. Yeah, but he can still fucking do this. Because he's a jagoff. I'm going to hold out and I'm not going to be in any of these voluntary things because I'm upset that I'm not getting paid. I'm the 11th paid defensive tackle in this league. Yeah. It sounds about right. I think it sounds right. About 11th, yeah. Which isn't bad. Which is probably falling where he should be. Is he a Cameron Hayward? Dexter Lawrence? No. And Cameron Hayward, I think, is like 400 or 36. Is he a Quentin Williams? No. Is he a Jeffrey Simmons? No. Is he that guy Ford out of with the Rams? No. Is he the kid from Tennessee that I can't think of his name? I want to say Sweat. No. Is he Kobe Turner from the Rams? No. Is he Travis Jones from Baltimore? No. Is he that kid from Atlanta? No. Is he the guy from Houston? No. Is he Leonard Williams?
King of the almost sack.
No. That's 10 guys last year better than Leonard Williams. We just named, I couldn't think of all their names, but I remember their teams. That's fucking 10 guys better than Leonard Williams. Excuse me, I'm so fucking pissed. Better than Dexter Lawrence. That's 10 guys I just named. I always love it when people go, well, you can't name 3 defensive tackles better than Dexter Lawrence. Well, I just named 10. I've said it before, I would take Leonard Williams. I would take that kid in Houston. I can't think his name. Tommy. It's Tommy something. I think he was drafted in 22. 22 or 23 he was drafted. He's not that kid in it. He's not a kid anymore, but he's not that guy in Atlanta. He's not Travis Jones from Baltimore. He's not Turner or the other. He's not Turner or Ford over with the Rams. He's not Sweat with the Titans. He's not Quentin Williams. He's not Jeffrey Simmons. And I said it before, I'd rather have a 36-year-old fucking Cameron Hayward from Pittsburgh than I would with Dexter Lawrence. Hayward only had 4 sacks. His sack total has dropped over the last couple of years. But he also has 53 pressures because everyone likes that pressures. An opposing pass. He's got the pass rush win ratio of 16.8 and has batted down the second most balls.
That's what she said.
At the line of scrimmage in 2025. You just give me Jeffrey. I will ship his ass over to Tennessee for Jeffrey Simmons. First team, Jeffrey Simmons, first team all-pro selection. How many first team all-pro selections does Dexter Lawrence have? Oh, he's got this many. And I love it because people are like, well, he has 2 all-pro selections. No, second team all-pro selections. We don't count Pro Bowls because Pro Bowls are a joke. And now they don't even have a fucking Pro Bowl anymore. But this is a guy that Dexter Lawrence is 2-time second team All-Pro. So that means there are 2 guys better than him immediately. And we've said this before. His best season in 22 equates to the worst season Aaron Donald had at his last year. It's the same. It's basically the same season, and that's Dexter Lawrence's best season. But he's going to sit there and cry because he feels like he's being misunderstood. Big Funky Town gives away the 5 memberships to New York Giants Straight Talk. Thank you, Funky Town. I haven't texted you in a while, Funky. I haven't seen the Funky text message come up in a while. Giant fans continuing to live in La La Land, overvaluating their players. I was going to get, we could have drafted Jeffrey Simmons. I was going to get to that, but I didn't want to get to that. I love this because Mike Lee is right. Tim has the same amount of first team all-pro selections as Dexter Lawrence. I do. I have the same exact amount. But no, we're going to pay this guy $30 million a year, wreck my cap for the next 3 years, and he's probably not even going to be here when the Giants become good and competitive. He probably won't be here. And everyone talks about the fact, remember not too long ago, we had $100 million in cap space in 27. I kept telling people, hey, listen, that number's going to go down once you start signing guys in 26. We now have $66 million. So imagine if you give him an extension, if you renegotiate his contract, imagine what's going to happen. You're probably not going to change much from his number this year. Probably going to convert some of that money into signing bonus because it's guaranteed anyways. And the big numbers isn't going to come in until 27. Now his cap hit in 27 is 28 million. So more than likely that cap number is going to rise. So your 66 million is going to be less in 27. I'm not saying stockpile cap space, but you have a cap hit number of 26 million next year for Andrew Thomas, 20 for Paulson Adebo, 44 for Brian Burns, 18 for Holland. What's the name will be gone? Darius Slayton will be gone. So that 12 is off the books. Another 12 for Abdul Carter and 10 for Malik Neighbors. And don't forget the 17 for Isaiah Likely, the 17 for Jermaine Illuminor, and the 16 for Tremaine Edmonds. that number is going to go down because you're going to pay a guy who is probably not even going to be here when the Giants are competitive again, because he'll be 32 years old and at the end of his contract. Sorry, I have to disagree with you here. Those 10 players play hurt also. Wait. No. Dexter wasn't hurt. Out of the mouths of babes, or out of the mouths of Dexter Lawrence, my elbow's fine. And I said this before. The moment Giants signed Brandon Allen, the quarterback. I know Brandon Allen. We'll get to Brandon Allen in a minute. Here's the thing, though. No. Out of the mouths of Dexter Lawrence, my elbow's fine. No, you can't say that. And I said this the moment he came out and said his elbow was fine during that press conference. You cannot backtrack later and say, "Oh, I was hurt." Which one is it, Dexter? Is your elbow okay, or are you hurt, or are you injured? Because there is a difference between being injured and hurt. I'd give him $26 million. He's already getting $26 million. He's already getting it. Sean Hayes says, it came clear weeks ago the Giants were not prioritizing linemen. They didn't restructure deals to free up cap space. Giant fans do not understand the thinking. I understand the thinking. You're also not going to overpay. The Giants have overpaid for players so often for so long, it's almost like a nuisance now with Giant fans in a bad way, that we're sitting there and we're thinking to ourselves, why aren't we signing these guys? Because we don't want to overpay anymore. We're always going back, even going back before Gettleman, more towards the end of the Reese era, we always overpay for guys. What happened to Ryan? Did you whack him? Listen, if I want to whack somebody, you would never know. You would never find the body. I'm joking, of course. You would never find the body. But we used to overpay for so many times. We bought a playoff appearance and then wrecked the cap for the next couple of years at the end of the Reese tenure. Dave Gettleman, who was better at drafting at signing free agents, even outside of that one class when they went 15-1 with the Carolina Panthers, when they brought in all these older guys that panned out, we've just become so accustomed to fucking ourselves in the ass with the cap that we kind of just look at it and say, well, why aren't we doing this now? Because we have someone in charge after getting rid of Kevin Abrams. We have someone in charge in Dawn that's saying, listen, no. You know what? I've always talked about this. I worked as a bouncer in bars in Philadelphia for years, and I love it because we had this one bartender, and I can't remember her name, but she was a short thing. She was like 4'10", like 50 pounds, and I've never seen a person go to guys that are 4 times her size and say, "You have had enough to drink. You are done. We are not serving you anymore." That's what Dawn is doing. She is like, we're not doing this shit anymore, guys. No. Knock, knock. Who's there? Not the New York fucking Giants overpaying for privileged players. So what the Giants are doing is they're taking a look at what they have. They are going to have a new philosophy of finding their own guys. And that's why I said the team may take a step forward under Harbaugh this year, but I don't think they're going to take a step into the playoffs. I don't think they're going to be a Patriot team, because the Patriots, even when they were bad, actually, even under Gerard Mayo, had a good defense. The Giants have we've said this before, the Giants have cut and paste talent under Joe Schoen. They cut and paste this talent that made no fucking sense. But what they did was they cut and pasted it by name. So Giant fans started looking at more the name on the back than the little logo on the front or on the logo on the helmet. Brian Burns did not make sense when we traded for him. Still doesn't make sense, but Brian Burns has turned into a special player last year with the Giants. Brian Burns did a lot of what he did on his own, and he got paid handsomely for it, and that worked out. But you never staggered the contracts for Dexter Lawrence and Andrew Thomas. We talked about that a million times. You brought in guys that didn't make sense, that wrecked the cap. You re-signed the deal for Daniel Jones, which still, I told people the moment that deal signed, the Giants wouldn't be good again until 27. What I told people is when he failed in 24, we were going to draft a quarterback in 25. You were going to need another year for the quarterback to be groomed, to find a right head coach, to find the talent around him, and maybe you would be better and competitive in 27. And I think that's what's happening. And it's okay, Charlie. You don't have to be sorry about disagreeing with me. You'll just end up like Ryan. Giants signed Brandon Allen, the ex-Titan. Let's talk about Brandon Allen a minute. Brandon Allen, he's been around. He started for the Bengals. When did he start for the Bengals, man? Brandon Allen's like 30-something. I remember, what's funny? I actually remember when Brandon Allen came in the league. He was with Brandon Allen was or am I talking about a different Brandon Allen? Because Brandon Allen came in the league, I think, like in 16. Or are you just fucking with me with Brandon Allen? I don't see anything about him. I don't see. Was it on X? Was that on X? Because you need a I'm not are adding to the room green in terms of Brandon Allen. Okay. I don't have a problem with Brandon Allen because Brandon Allen's going to be what he is. He's going to be Brandon Allen. He's not going to be anything special. Right now, he's probably more of a camp arm because you got Jameis Winston and Jackson Dart. He is a guy that, he came in the league. Wow, 16. Yeah, I just had to look it up. Brandon Allen came in the league in 16. He went to Arkansas. He was a Razorback. I remember that. He's bounced around. He had a stint where he started a couple games for Cincinnati. I know, it's funny because I remember that was like in the early 2000s. I don't remember how many games he started, but I remember he won one. But he was okay. And there was actually talk in Cincinnati that we might have found our quarterback. It's a good sign. It's going to probably be for less than probably the veteran minimum. You're going to need a camp arm. I got no problem with that. Dex is worth exactly where he is at. That's the thing, Sean. Dexter's worth what he's the 11th paid defensive tackle in the league. Yes, he's worth that amount of money. I agree. 1,000 fucking %. What happened to Ryan? Tim, did you whack him? I don't know. I don't know what happened to Ryan. Ryan had, what they always say? Ryan has his own demons to deal with. That's all we're going to leave it at. He's got his own demons. Let me go back. Let's see here. Let's see. Kalis Campbell is still in the league at 39 years old. Dexter Lawrence still has 5 good years left or more. Kalis Campbell is a different player than Dexter Lawrence. And Kalis Campbell, I believe, is 40 now. Kalis Campbell knows his role, knows his job. His job is to take up space in the middle of the line. That's what Kalis Campbell does. Joe Spano, I like the idea of getting 2027 cap space. 2027 is going to be a loaded draft. But while we're here, let's pick up that third rounder. We've talked about this with a few draft experts that we've had on the show. This is not a deep or stacked draft for immense talent. After the top 10, it kind of drops off. And that's what I'm not saying this is what analysts are saying. So don't shoot the messenger. But, and I agree with this because I've said it, the Giants' positions of need on defense, this is a good draft. This is a very good draft to go out and get that defensive tackle. This is a very good draft to go out and get that, get a few linebackers. I've already said I would potentially double dip in this draft. And if I had a third, if I only had a brain, if I had a third, I probably would double dip at linebacker. If I went out and got Sonny Styles, I've already said it before, Anthony Hill, Jacob Rodriguez, CJ Allen, or Josiah Trotter. All of them with different skill sets. All of them. Now, listen, like I said, this draft at linebacker, are these guys going to be Carl Banks? Are these guys going to be all pros? No. There's another guy that nobody's really talking about, which I think because he's a little on the short side, but I think would be a good spot in this draft for the Giants, especially later, is Kyle Lewis out of Pittsburgh. Kyle Lewis, out of East Orange. He is a guy that covers ground in a hurry. He's another speed guy. He's an explosive guy. I always love it because we always joke about this because we always talk about with this corner because it's just weird to talk about. He's fluid in the hips when he's in coverage, when he's in man coverage. He knows, you know what? If you go out and get like a Lee Hunter or someone big, this kid knows how to shoot the gap. He shows proper tackling technique in the open field, which we haven't seen in years. Now, the problem is at his size, he can get swallowed up by bigger, offensive linemen. He does get lost in the sauce. If you want to watch, we always talk about good games. If you want to talk about a bad game, you really want to watch a whole bad game for somebody, watch his game against Miami last year. This is a guy that is a good coverage guy, but he gave up chunks of yards in coverage for Miami. But it's one game. So, but you got to take a look at the linebackers in this draft. And like I said, you could double dip. You could go Dawson out of Alabama later. You go Josiah Trotter. You go with that kid out of Indiana. Gabe, I can't think of his last name. You got Jacob Rodriguez, like Anthony Hill, CJ Allen. You got some linebackers in this draft, and that is the position of need for the Giants. Same thing with defensive tackles. You have some we ran through a list of defensive tackles last a couple weeks ago on the stream. There's a large amount of defensive tackles in this draft that you could go out and get, even starting at the top at Peter Woods, and bring him into the system. You could find a steal. We've talked about Caleb Banks over and over again. Caleb Banks is a offensive wrecker when his fucking head's on straight and when he's not hurt. He is that 330-pound fucking knucklehead. We've talked about that. This is a guy, though, that you could, like I said, he's got the foot issue is what bugs the hell out of me. It's the fourth metatarsal. I always go back to Greg Oden in basketball. We always go to that thing. And if he is Caleb Banks, I would say, is frustrating at best when it comes to work on his tackling technique. But that's why you're not taking him in the first round. You're taking him later in the draft. He is the quintessential boom or bust guy in this draft. And I think that is a direction we can run down. Michael, he says, stupid comment. He was playing on a bad teams. He phoned it in last year to show his frustration. Production of participation trophies. That's a great thing. Do you really want to sit there with Dexter Lawrence and use your rationale and reasoning for him dogging it because he was frustrated for playing on bad teams? We named last stream like 20 guys that never won, played on bad teams, but still produced and never complained. There's a quintessential one named Barry Sanders. He was the Detroit Lions. Minimal times they made the playoffs. He retired early because he didn't want to walk away an invalid. But at the end of the day, he did what he was supposed to do. You don't spike the ball. You flip the ball to the end zone. You go about and do your fucking job. Darnell Jackson from Florida State is going to be a steal. Could get him in the late second or third. Well, first of all, I know he's we already know why you like him. Because you put a name underneath at the end that tells me already why. Mr. Gregg says most professional players are upset on what they're being paid. They're always thinking they're getting underpaid somehow because someone else is getting paid more. And this is what I think is funny about that. And it's very apropos and it's very true. The moment that your ink dries on that contract, more than likely someone else is getting more money. This is what I don't get about that. And I am all for players getting paid. Your career is short enough as it is. 75% or something crazy like that. Players that after they retire, they go broke. There was that great documentary called Broke. So they lose their money. So, you should get as much money as you humanly possibly can, because by 20, you got to remember this. Most of these players are out of the league at 27. Not the good players, but a lot of players are out of the league at 23, 27. And the most amount of money you're ever going to make in your life is probably off your NFL contract. And your career is short enough. And as someone that has played 11 years, going back from Pop Warner to college, when it's over, and you don't get anything else. There's no participation trophy. There's no one coming out with another big check for you. And I never got paid because I never made it into, I always, like I said before, the only thing that stopped me from going pro was lack of talent and injuries. But when that's done, it's done. So I don't begrudge you for getting your money, but know your value, know your worth. You are not worth $30 million to this defense. Your best season is Aaron Donald's worst season. And you want to be paid like you're Aaron Donald. Shout out to Gabe says, say bye to Dex. Respectfully, Harbaugh knows what he's doing. That's the thing. That's what I don't get with people. Don't be upset at Big John. Big John's doing his fucking job. Big John gets it. He understands. He does not have any attachment to these guys. And he is placing his bet that he is going to find talent that is going to fit what he wants to do. He's going to fit the Harbaugh way. After his 18-year career, and he is betting on himself. And you know what happens when you bet on yourself? You need to go to the mighty FanDuel. That's FanDuel.com. New customers bet $5, get $250 back in bonus bets if you win. Get ready for the NBA playoffs on the mighty FanDuel. We've been looking at these playoff numbers. Knicks are still plus 1,800. OKC is plus 115. You got the Spurs at 550. You got the Celtics and the Spurs tied at 550. And of course, everyone knows I have a $100,000 bet. Well, not $100,000 bet. I have a parlay. I have a 5-leg parlay, and my last parlay on that 5-leg parlay is the Boston Celtics winning the NBA championship. And when that happens, it's not going to happen now because now I have to say it's not going to happen. But if it happened, I would get over $100,000. You got the Nuggets at plus 1,100. You got the Cavaliers plus 1,100. You got the Knicks at plus 1,800. I think the Knicks are undervalued. I think they're, that the second round matchup with Boston is going to be telling. Knicks get past Boston. I think they're going to the playoffs. I mean, they're not playoffs. I think they're going to the ship once they get past that. And also right now, which I love it, it's time for tip-off. While players are getting ready for the championships, you can play for big wins on the NBA Super Slam 2 casino game. I'm actually just clicked on play it now. I'm actually playing it now. But that's the mighty FanDuel. It's FanDuel.com, the number one sports book in America. I'm going to say this again because you know what? The NBA is right here. The NBA playoffs are right here. Bet $5, get $250 back in bonus bets if you win. Play that mighty FanDuel right now. It's FanDuel.com, the number one sports book in America. James Williams says, Keith Hamilton, for all you youngsters, was effective. Yeah. Let me get here. Let me jump into the chat. Cam Hayward is a Hall of Famer. Yeah. So, Dexter Lawrence wants to be a Hall of Famer, right? So I can't compare him to I can't compare him to Dexter Lawrence. Can I compare Quentin Williams to Dexter Lawrence? Can I listen, I'm going to say this right now. If I had to pick Cameron Hayward or Dexter Lawrence, I'm going Cameron. If I had to take Quentin Williams or Dexter Lawrence, I'm taking Williams. So I had to take Jeffrey Simmons over Dexter Lawrence, I'm taking Simmons. If I had, this is going to really piss people off. If I had to take Ford or Turner over Dexter Lawrence, I'm taking those two guys. If I had to take the kid out of Tennessee, Sweat, or Dexter Lawrence, I'm taking Dexter Lawrence. If I had to take Travis Jones, I'm taking Travis Jones over Dexter Lawrence. If I had to take Leonard Williams at this point in time,
King of the almost sack.
I'm taking Leonard Williams. Did you see Warren Sharp post about Dexton pressures? No, I did not see Warren Sharp's. I did not see him. Hey Jay, what's your blood pressure tip? Yeah, I know. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired. I'm literally tired. I've said it before, but we're not.
I'm pretty tired. Think I'll go home now.
I'm not going home, but I'm just tired. Buffalo was bad against the run. Dex has been bad against the run, except to start them to give up a first. Make that make sense. It doesn't. Emrod, I would literally like to say it makes sense. I would literally like to say it would make sense. I would, because it doesn't. I was talking, yes, Mr. Rod, I know that. I was talking last season because, I was talking 25, not 26 in reference to these players because of the fact that, we don't know what's going on in 26 shit. But it's a name, and hopefully you can rely on the Giant name. I miss Ironhead Hayward. That's a good one. I do miss Ironhead Hayward. Joe Spano says, everyone forgets there are no elite pass rushing nose tackles. To be an elite rusher, you frequently have to abandon your gap discipline and ability to reset the line of scrimmage. We're not going to talk about that. Joe, what have I told you about talking about stuff that makes sense on this channel? We don't do that. Charlie, how are we gonna draft an edge rusher? You have Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns, and Abdul Carter. We can't keep drafting. We can't keep drafting guys to play on the fucking edge. Dex, I already got to that. What happened? I already got that. Off Broadway, Giants free odds, thinking the things to move on the last minute. There's always been lack of foresight. And I think now you're right. I think now we have a direction. We are now going north. Before with the fucking Giants, it was north, south, east, west, west, east. 1.24/6 on the perimeter. We're going everywhere. Now we are going fucking straight. And then we're going to find that hill, and we're going to go up the hill. Charlie says if Dex doesn't get double teamed every play, you think that Burns gets double. Yes, he does not get double teamed every play. The film fucking shows it, Charlie. I'm never going to argue that. I'm not going to continuously argue this point. And yes, I do think Brian Burns, without Dexter Lawrence in the middle of the line, gets sacks. Because Brian Burns is not rushing on the fucking interior. And he gets chipped by the tight end and the running back along with the tackle. That makes, I hate that fucking thing when people say, because it makes no fucking sense. So Dexter Lawrence is tying up the guard and the center. Brian Burns is rushing on the outside, which means he's going up against the left tackle, the tight end, and probably the running back. Makes sense to that one too. As a football purist, fucking makes sense to that. That makes zero fucking sense. You are not rushing your defensive end into the interior the majority of the time. He is using his speed, his ability, and his pass rushing moves on the outside. Oh, fucking dear Lord. Tim, I will talk you off the record. I'll talk you off the record about Dexter Lawrence. Dude, it was Dawn. That makes sense. But Jackson Dart's going to survive if the defense overloads the right sides. Dawn prioritized money over the right guard spot. Sean, do you want me to talk to you about Dawn right now on this? Do you want me to talk to you about this? Someone was going to talk me off the ledge. You want me to talk to you about this point right here? I'm going to talk to you about this. Ready? Got nothing up my sleeves. Nothing. Why have the Giants not prioritized the guard position this year? That is a great question. I'm going to give you a great answer. It is called Matt Nagy. You hopefully have your bookend tackles with Andrew Thomas and Jermaine Illuminor. You're hopefully going to be backed up by Marcus Bowe. You have John Runyon still at your left guard position, which is telling me John Runyon's not going there. While he is not the greatest at run blocking, what is John Runyon good at? Pass blocking. So really the only open spot on the line is the right guard spot. You haven't even gone through the draft yet. Evan Neal's coming back. You picked up Daniel Flahala, who is the Aaron Donald, who is the Evan Neal of the Baltimore Ravens. I like Lucas Patrick a lot. He's going to be a swing guy. Aaron Stinney is going to play center. Joshua Zutter, you're bringing back, hoping you're going to grab something out of him. So really the only spot open on this line is the right guard spot. And then you think to yourself, well, Tim, what are we going to do about that? Well, I'm going to tell you, here it is, Matt Nagy's system. Go back to watch the Matt Nagy system in Chicago. Matt Nagy runs a hybrid system of the 94 George Seifert offense that went to the Super Bowl and made Steve Young a star. His first season, he's 12-4 and makes the playoffs with Mitchell fucking Trubisky. So we hope that Jackson Dart is better than Mitchell Trubisky. We have said this before. The Matt Nagy system, if run properly, is a horizontal offense, which is played between -2 and 10 yards, where Jackson Dart excels and goes vertical once the safeties creep and you lure the defensive in, which is why Darnell Mooney had his best season as a pro under year one of Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy ran the same similar system in Super Bowls and winning Super Bowls with Patrick Mahomes. Now you hope that Daniel Jones can reach that Jackson Dart can reach the Patrick Mahomes level. You bring in Patrick Ricard. Patrick Ricard only played the last 3 seasons 38% of the snaps in Baltimore. He is basically used as the pile driver. He's basically used as that additional tackle or guard because he'll play in the interior portion of the line, picking up the blitz. You are running a West Coast style offense that is going to use the run as a pass, is going to use the pass to set up the run, is going to switch from a horizontal style offense to vertical on a 3-step quick read drop, which means my interior linemen are not going to be as important as my tackles because I have a big guy playing fullback that can help with whomever's at the right tackle position. And I still have picks in the draft. Boom! Fucking science. There you go, Sean. Slider says, Dex looks like the numbers and looked at it and says, yeah, numbers aren't doing so shit. Great response, Dex. Sarcasm.
You're bad.
Warning, sarcasm. Warning, sarcasm.
6th round pick from the Jags. Yeah, in 2016. 2016. And says, Tim, who do you take at 5 if Sonny Styles is gone? I fucking cry. And I hope we trade it up to get him. No, I don't cry. If Sonny Styles is gone at 5, I seriously consider trading back to 11. I look at offensive linemen, and then I get my linebacker in the 2nd round. I potentially go, you know what's funny? I might potentially go wide receiver if Lemon's still sitting there because I need a true slot guy. And Lemon out of USC, I think you pair him with Malik Neighbors. If Love's there, I'm taking Love. There's so many different ways to go. That's the problem with this, Jeff. Even James Williams was like, I'm like a kid because I don't know who the fuck they should take because there's so many people the Giants can take. There's really, like I said, I am really in this position that if you take a look at who is available at 5, I'm not one of these guys that is like, would really be mad. I mean, I'm trying to think who I'd be mad. We've talked about this before. Who would I be mad at if we took at 5? There's now talk that David Bailey's going to the Jets. That's fucking crazy. We were just talking about David Bailey. I still think Love is going to go to the Titans. I really do think Love's going to the Titans. I got to take, if Sonny Styles is not there at 5, here's the problem. I can't, I like Francis out of I like Big Francis out of Miami, but I can't take him at 5. It's not even a need. I got Andrew Thomas and Jermaine Illuminor for 2 more years. If the wide receivers are there, you might consider. I mean, like I said, Tate reminds me too much of Marvin Harrison Jr. What's funny? I might be sucked into taking Caleb Downs at 5 if there's nobody there. I still think Caleb Downs is going 10 to Cincinnati. I still think he's going 10 to Cincinnati. But I could see that. I could. There's really, like I said, there's really no one that I would be upset about. I would probably trade down to 10, probably get my Caleb Downs and go back into the 3rd round. I would like to trade up earlier into the draft, maybe later in the 1st round, to grab Chris Johnson, the corner out of San Diego State. I think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I know we have this plethora of corners, but they are all reclamation projects in the Denard Wilson system. So I don't think I can.
You say I have a plethora of piñatas?
No, but we have a plethora of corners. Yeah, I mean, I would do that. I would probably trade back. I would probably grab my linebacker at 37. I would probably take either Anthony Hill or CJ Allen at 37 if available. And I would probably then still have my my ability to grab someone in the 4th round. And hopefully if I trade it out, I got a pick in the 3rd round. Hopefully I got a good 1st round pick somewhere out there as well. We need 4 quarterbacks for camp. They will grab an undrafted free agent after the draft. Yeah, you're right. 100%. Hey, Joe, what do we need the 4th quarterback at training camp for? I don't get it. Yeah, he's a camp arm. I knew a girl that had fluid hips. I like Caleb Banks. Caleb Banks, to me, if you go after Caleb Banks, you could literally have yourself a fantastic fucking player. But then you could also have a Greg Oden. I know it's the wrong sport, but it's that metatarpal, or whatever the fuck. Hit the like button, people. We got 38 fucking likes. What, am I doing this for my health? I'm ornery today. I didn't get any sleep. The Knicks played the fucking Home Depot team. I haven't even looked at my bobblehead yet. And it's a DoorDash bobblehead. And then I find out the draft party is going to be it's going to be in New York. Oh, this is kind of a nice bobblehead. Oh, you know what? Tim, you're awesome. Thank you, Jalen Brunson. You can sit right next to McLovin. Oh, you can't even see him. Motherfucker. There we go. I like Jalen Brunson. Just need a rest. I need a rest. Knicks played the Home Depot squad, and we got fucking beat. Now I got to worry about Boston in the 2nd round. We have not had players who have played worse than Dexter Lawrence. We're given a pass because of the new regime. Why is Dex all of a sudden a bum, and everyone is okay with getting rid of him? Because he's been a bum for years. He's been a bum for 2 years. Even his 9-sack season, most of his 9 sacks came at the defensive end position, not even at the defensive tackle position. He doesn't get a lot of solo tackles. He doesn't lead the point of attack, and he doesn't tie up 2 guys. Yes, Darnell Jackson. I know Florida State. Steal at 3. Jeffrey Simmons playing on a bad team right now. Thank you. Oh, for the love of God. There are smart people. Mr. Perry, sometimes I just need help. Zach Attack. I felt over the last decade we have players that have been entitled without doing the work. I've said this once, I've said this twice, I'm saying this a million times. Is Dexter Lawrence a really good player on a bad team? And what will he be on a good team? I'm not saying he's not going to be a Pro Bowler, but I don't know what he would be on a good team. Evidently, yelling at people to hit the like button worked. I was going to give away something. If we get, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give away something. I'm going to give away, if we can get to 75 likes before the end of the show, I'm going to give away an autographed copy of Reasons to Believe. That's right. I'm going to give away an autographed copy of Reasons to Believe. Autographed by Online Big Blue. Not Garrett, but I'm going to give away an autographed copy of Reasons to Believe. I won't even autograph it. I was joking. If we hit 75 likes, I will give away an autograph. I will give away a copy of Gary Reason's book. Even though Gary Reason hasn't been back on the show yet. I haven't invited him, but that's not. That was like someone the other day was like, let's go to dinner. And I was like, I don't want to go to dinner. And I said, we went to there last week. I was like, we went there last Wednesday, but you didn't answer the text message, which I never sent to invite you. A joke says, okay, for explaining, have any calls come in for Dex that we know of? All I know is Joe Shane came out and said that they made Dex available and nobody called. That was last year. I don't know about this year. I've talked to a couple people in the league, and I know they know people, and they know people that they know people. I know that there has been limited contact and discussion about Dexter Lawrence. But you don't know unless you know someone. All seems quiet out. Yeah, right now, yes. Zach, who's that? BJ Bumhill. We traded him. Keith the Hammer Hamilton. 2nd and 4. I would trade Dex. If you offered me a 2nd and a 4 for Dex, I would take that. Because then I'm going to get Lee Hunter. Because I'm going to package some shit and move back up into the first round. I'm going to get my defensive tackle. I'm going to get my linebacker. I'm going to get I'm going to get a 4th rounder back, and maybe I can take one of the 4s and one of the 3 5s we have, move back into the 3rd round, get a pick, do a Sonny from draft day. I don't remember Sonny's name. Weaver. I still have yet to watch that movie. I'm going to have to get on the phone with Dahmer in the UK and watch that film, because him and I talk about that film and Bo Callahan all the time, but we have not seen the film. We have not seen Kevin Costner as Sonny Weaver in that film. We talk about it, we joke about it, but we have yet to see it. And now it's free streaming. But I'm trying to find my pancake eating motherfucker rant. Oh, here we go.
Come on, Tom, say it with me, you pancake eating motherfucker.
There we go. Everyone go out on Twitter, go out on all the other places. Do it now. We were already at 45. I'm going to change. We hit 70 likes before the end of the show, which is going to be at 1 o'clock. I am giving away a copy of Reasons to Believe. Here, I'll even show you some pictures. That was the top 100 ceremony, which I was on the field for. I was one of the flag people that held the flags for the players. Sean says, when a player is publicly announcing he wants to trade, it is an infight for disgruntled lowball offers. He will get back acceptable value in Dexter unless a team is desperate for him. You're right. Because people know they don't want him. He doesn't want to be there, so that's fine. Listen, I have no problem with Dexter Lawrence. I have no problem with Dexter. If he stays, I'm fine. As long as he shuts his mouth and does his job. I've seen too many of these things where people come into camp and don't get the money and they're fucking pissed off. And I've seen too many times that people get paid and then don't produce, and then it's everyone else's fault but theirs. It's a no win-win situation here. We moved on from OBJ. It was the right move. We didn't trade Barkley, and look what happened. Look what it got us. Well, here's the problem. You moved on from OBJ and got Dexter Lawrence. So, I mean, I understand where you're going. Are you smoking medical weed? No, it's legal. And I like gummies. But Dexter is a regularly graded him in the top 3 run defenders at his position. Oh, I don't remember. I don't really, because I don't see that anywhere. But I know you're just probably being.
Warning, sarcasm. Warning, sarcasm.
It's 36 on the board, but 24 on the button. It doesn't make any sense. nonsense. Yes, Ironhead Hayward is a Jersey product. That's why I brought that up. Pittsburgh guy, too. Yeah, do you remember Vince Wilfork? He was a very good nose tackle, never put up big sack numbers, always did his job freaking. Yeah, I loved Vince Wilfork. We actually talked about Vince Wilfork one of these days. I don't remember why. So if Jackson Dart isn't the guy, then what, Tim? Because the Giants have 17 games this upcoming season to see if he's a franchise quarterback. You didn't get me mad, Charlie. I'm just in a bad mood. just in a fucking. You want me to be honest? I'm just in a fucking bad mood. Knicks got blown out. I didn't sleep. I got Boston in the fucking second round. I can't get to 70 likes. I didn't do any of my stuff around the house. Listen, you're going to have to you are going to find out rapidly if Jackson Dart is your guy. Because what a lot of Giant fans and content creators don't understand or don't get, and they're all upset about Matt Nagy. They're all upset about bringing in Callahan. They're all upset. Oh my God, it's the fucking end of the world. Matt Nagy, terrible hire. No, Matt Nagy fits Jackson Dart to a T. You want Jackson Dart to be somewhere between Mitchell Trubisky and Patrick Mahomes. That's what you want. I'm going to say this again. I'm going to say it slow for the cheap seats. You want Jackson Dart to be somewhere between Mitchell Trubisky and Patrick Mahomes, closer to Patrick Mahomes. The system that Matt Nagy has designed and runs fits Jackson Dart perfectly. If I had to make a Jackson Dart prediction, I think you are going to see if I should rephrase it. If there is a Jackson Dart buy-in, I think Jackson Dart will have a very good season year one under Matt Nagy. He will exceed what Mitchell Trubisky did during that 12-4 playoff season. They had multiple games where they scored over 30 points. They also had some games they put up clunkers. But I think that Jackson Dart, if he buys into the system, stops with the freaking dancing in the end zone, becomes an NFL quarterback. And I've already said this, Brian Dable and Mike Kafka did such a disservice to Jackson Dart. They didn't make him an NFL quarterback. They made him an Ole Miss quarterback playing in the NFL. Because they literally went to Jackson Dart and said, what do you do well? What plays did you like at Ole Miss? Then we're going to run those in here in the pros. And when they scripted those first 15 plays, Jackson Dart was on fire. It's when those plays ran out that his play dropped exponentially. The Matt Nagy system is a 3-drop, quick read system that runs a horizontal offense that switched to vertical when at the right time when it flicks the switch. And it is perfect for a quarterback who has an issue throwing accurately at times over 10 yards. And we've shown these many times. We've shown the game tapes the game stats many times before. You start looking at Jackson Dart over 10 yards, you see a lot of whites. You see white. That's because he's deadly accurate within that first 10-yard range. But as soon as he goes over 10 yards, you see an exponential drop in his ability to complete passes. This game, he was 1 for 9 over 10. This game, again, if you look at it, he had 3 completions over 10 yards in 11 throws. But look at all the greens between -2 and 10, and that is where the Matt Nagy system lives, because he uses a quick set drop, and he uses these short passes as run plays. Because we don't have a Howard, we don't have a Tariq Cohen, who we had back that first season, but we're working on that. That's why I said that Jeremiah Love would actually be a perfect complement to this system. I like Reuben Baines as well, but I don't need Reuben Baines. And Reuben Baines actually had a car accident in 24. It just came out today where he killed somebody. He killed somebody in a car accident in 24. You got to love Florida. I lived in Miami. I know how corrupt Florida football can be. They kind of swept it under the rug. He didn't even get a ticket. He caused an accident where somebody died and Ruben Baines didn't even get a ticket. That's self-entitlement. That's all I'm going to say about that. Well, I'm way behind the fucking chat. I would get love. I need love. Oh my God, please do more slot. Please, no more slot receivers with high draft picks. But here's the thing with Lemon. I'm going to tell you the thing that I have about Lemon. I think if you're looking at a guy now, I think Lemon could play more. I should rephrase it. I think Lemon can play more than the slot position. I think Lemon is going to be probably the safest pick because I think everyone. I actually have Lemon on my board ranked the number one receiver. I go Lemon, Tyson, Tate. And then I have Casey Concepcion. I have Boston out of Washington. I have Omar Cooper. I actually like Omar Cooper a lot too, but he's a guy that's going to be a slot guy. But Lemon to me, it has a high route tree. Lemon is a guy that while he was predominantly played in the slot at USC, he is going to be better. He's got hands. He's got 3 drops and 175 targets. Now, he's not going to be a contested ball guy, but he's going to be a guy you can play on the sidelines and know how to drag his feet. He could be a little bit of a Devontae Smith type guy. Again, here's the thing that, like I said, it bugs me. He's 5'11", but that's bigger than Wendell Robinson. But he's got a smaller catch radius than a guy that you would say is like 6'3". But it makes sense. I thought Lemon Kid was an outside slider. He played predominantly in the slot at USC. In the 11 future in the as WWE. It's always the WWF. Keyshawn the Bruce says they might go running back or O-lineman if they believe Jackson Dart is the franchise. Here's the thing though, you don't need to go O-lineman. You don't. Now, if you want to go, and this is why I said trading out a 5 is not fucking crazy. Because you can go back. And even if you want to go trade down even more, I still like Spencer Fano out of Utah. Now, a lot of the talk that some people have him the second ranked offensive lineman in the league and in the draft. But here's the thing with Fano. We've had 2 guys on this show, draft experts, one from CBS Sports, the other one, I can't remember where the other one's from, CBS Sports HQ, and I can't remember who the other guy, Ryan Roberts we had on, A to Z Sports. They both said the same things. There's talk and speculation that teams like Fano better at the guard and center position than they do at the tackle position. That's what a gifted athlete this kid is. And at 311 pounds, 6'6", I think he would be, if you watch his play, I think he would be a standout guy on the interior lineman, but I can't take him at 5. But I'm not going to take a guy at 5 that I'm going to move positionally. It's like taking a guy at 3 that you think should be a situational pass rusher. I'm not doing that either. But I'm not taking a guy at 5 that I have to move, but I'm going to take a guy at 10 or 11 that I move into the interior. I'm fine. Joe Smala says, I would outright hate drafting Baines because he's such a good defender. In the addition to his pass rushing chops, also can play anywhere 3-4 technique to 9 technique. Ruben Baines just does not fit what we have piecewise. I cannot keep drafting redundancy. I like Jacob Rodriguez a lot. We've shown it a million times before. We are huge. Just the stash alone makes me want to get him.
That's what she said.
Just the mustache alone. But I think that, like I said, if I had an opportunity, if it depends on where I'm drafting. I right now on my list have Jacob Rodriguez number 5. Well, actually number 6. Between 5 and 6. Actually, I'm in a tie between Anthony Hill and Jacob Rodriguez. And like I said before, the linebacker class right here really fits into what the Giants need. And I love it because, you know what? He is the Bednarik winner, the Butkus winner, the Bronco Nagurski guy, and the Lombardi Award. That's pretty good. I worry, is he a 3 down linebacker? If I want a guy that's a downhill tackler that can play the run, who instinctively goes after ball carriers and does not get lost in the sauce and feels the flow and has that lateral burst that can chase plays sideline to sideline, you gotta love Jacob Rodriguez. 13 career forced fumbles. He's a guy that, one of the things that if you watch Jacob Rodriguez play, watch his pre-snap communication and his ability to read routes underneath. Watch him diagnose the quarterback. Go back and watch the film because this kid is a tactician in regards to the pre-snap read. This is a guy that's agile. He's vertical, 2-time captain, plays with a sense of urgency, scored on both sides of the ball in 25. People will talk about his short arms. I don't care about that. Now, here's the problem. You go vertical against Jacob Rodriguez, yeah, you're going to have some issues. He reminds me at time of Blake Martinez in his coverage ability. Blake Martinez, one season was stellar at covering. The next season was bad. The next season was great. And at times, Jacob Rodriguez is that way within games. I don't want him chasing out wide because he does take bad angles at times. He's not a special teams guy, but if I'm taking him in the second round, I don't want him to play special teams. I don't fucking care. But the other issue is, and I think it's more of an issue in regards to the fact of concentration and sometimes lack of proper techniques, but he missed a lot of tackles on cutback runs, and sometimes he overruns the point of attack. But again, I think that is stuff that can be taught. As an A-gap downhill scheme, lock him up. But if I'm looking at a complete linebacker, I still have Reese 1. I got Bailey 2. I got Sonny Styles 3. Then I got CJ Allen at 4. And then I have tied at Rodriguez and Hill. Now, people are like, well, Tim, why are you taking Sonny Styles? Because I think both Bailey and Reese are going to be gone. And I think Sonny Styles fits the Giant system. Former safety, he's just scratched the surface of his talent as only a 2-year starter as linebacker, can cover, play sideline to sideline, 3-down guy. And I'm pairing him with Tremaine Edmonds. Let's see here. Where are we at here? 50 likes and no guests. We always have no guests. Don't forget, we hit 70 likes. You are going to get someone's going to win a copy of, I gotta see where we're at. We're going to win a copy of Gary Reasons to Believe. We're at 51 likes. We're 19 likes away. We have 31 minutes. T-Brod. T, I got your call this morning, brother. I'm sorry. I did not get a chance to get back to you. I do apologize for that. It was a long day. And when you called, I was actually asleep. And I know it was 8:30, but I'd gotten up with the kids and took everyone at 6 and took everyone to school. And I went home and I went back and I laid down. And that was it. Get tough with him, Tim. Sometimes you just have to. I don't think he's a bum, but he doesn't want to be here. I agree. AJ says, hit the like button. The terrorist will win. We can't have the terrorist winning. Mike Lee says if Dexter was on a good team, he would be riding the pine. I don't think he'd be riding the pine. I just wonder, though, is he a really good player on a bad team and then maybe only a good player on a good team? It's easy. You log and click the like button. Yeah, Craig's been at best. It's easier. Joe says, don't want to speak for Tim, but I do see him saying Dexter is a bum. He's saying he's not a flawless. I don't know. I agree. He's not a bum, but he is a player with flaws. And what he does in the interior portion of the line is not what I want him to do. And Dexter, if we're going to be honest, Dexter Lawrence is about 30 pounds overweight. And people will marvel at his lateral quickness for being such his size. They'll be like, ooh, look how great he is laterally. Look how agile he is. Look how agile he would be if he got on Ozempic. Maybe a sponsor. No, I'm just joking. But just think if he lost the weight. Just think Think about the fact that Dexter Lawrence, early in his career, when he was between 320 and 330, how much more athletic and agile he was. Slider! Joe is using the imaginary phone to make business deals. Mr. Rod says, if Brig Vance is there at 5, we should take him. Ellie Moore right now was originally supposed to be our right guard, but Neil didn't work out. But there is a continuity right now with Ellie Moore Fudd, or Jermaine Illuminor, at that right tackle position. There is a continuity. I'm not sold on Jermaine Illuminor. I've talked about this. I'm not sold on the guy. But what I am sold on the fact is continuity in the line, especially for a second-year quarterback. No, James said, nobody wants a guy who played like crap over the last 2 years and then has a lousy attitude to boot. Yeah, it is a hard sell. Mr. Perry says the hardball drafts his own quarterbacks like he did in Baltimore. Yes, the guy came up with both Flacco and Lamar Jackson. I know you're just trying, Charlie, I know you're just trying to piss me off, but Ty Simpson at 5. Yeah, I know. Remember Dante Stallworth? Yes, I do remember Dante Stallworth. Best wide receiver in the league is a slot wide receiver. Nah, Justin Jefferson is still the best. Wow, I didn't know that about Ruben. It just came out today about Ruben Baines. He killed somebody in a car crash in 2004 in Miami PD. Could someone please hold up that rug? There we go. Never happened. Is that going to affect his stock? No, it's not going to affect his stock. Because they're going to say, well, you know, he wasn't drunk. He wasn't cited with anything. Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah, that's all right. It's all right, though. Because it was an accident. That's what people are going to say. But yes, it was never released. So let's see here. But I know who you're talking about. Big Greg. Dante Stallworth was drunk, ran over a pedestrian, killing him, went to jail. Then a few years later, he came back. Yeah, you also had the guy from, what was he, with the Saints? The defensive lineman did that. Henry Ruggs. I saw that. I saw Henry Ruggs trying to make a comeback at the wide receiver. Yeah, I don't see that. Let's see. Big Greg says Lemon gives Jackson no vibes. I like Teddards too in the second round. I also liked Bernard as a poor man's Debo. You know what's funny? Juwan Jennings is still out there. What's up, stud man? What's up? Where you been? I know, working. Bad angles equals slow. Yes. Honestly, because yes, Tyler Newman. You're right. You're right. He's got the T-Rex arms. I always like doing the T-Rex arms. James Wing says, so you're saying his mustache stops him from crossing deep routes? Copy that. It's the stash, man. It's the stash. The stash caused wind resistance. Of course, with Jacob Rodriguez, we all know that. That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Oh, my God. Hit that like button. And I'm going to say it again, but Jacob Rodriguez can shoestring tackle someone with the stash. We're not at 70 likes. When we hit 70 likes, we're going to give away a copy of Reasons to Believe, the Gary Reasons book. So hit 70 likes, get yourself a copy. We're at 56. I don't think we're making 70. But that's okay. Instead of wide receivers, do you think of drafting a stud? No, we can't take a stud tight end. You just got Isaiah Likely, and you got to give Theo Johnson another year. I'm not a Theo Johnson fan, but you got to give him another year. You got to give him at least one more year. Why can't we have two Gregs on here? This is why we can't have two Gregs on here. Opera always say, wait, is the actor Joe Spano from Hill Street Blues? No, he is the former media mogul, Joe Spano. Saw him on WPIX and all these other channels. Radio guy. We've had Joe on. Had Joe on a couple times. Gotta go. Gotta run. Take care, everyone. All right, AJ. Peace, AJ. Let's see here. Being an FUFS, you guys, Bane is going to be a problem. Talk about arms if you want. Yeah, but where is Ruben Baines? And this is my question to people. Where is he going to fit in the system? Where is he going to fit? Where are you? And don't tell me everywhere. Where are you playing Ruben Baines? Going to say it again, guys. 70 likes before we leave. You get an autographed copy by Online Big Boy Sports of Gary Reason's book, Reasons to Believe. I will mail you this. And I will mail you, and look, I'll show more pictures. And I like the book because it has pictures. See, you can see. You look. I'm going to show this real quick. There you go. There you go. Show it again. There you go. There you go. There you go. Hit 70. You get a copy. I will give you an autographed copy. Put on my Big Blue Sports of Reasons to Believe. Just going to throw that out there now. Fuck your sensitivity. The mad ramblings of a Gen Xer is coming back. Just thought I would tell everyone that because we are now listed as one of the best Black run podcasts. And we are now on the Black podcast directory. That's why I like Francis. Dart is our guy. Francis is going to become his left tackle. Don't see AT being here. He's Andrew Thomas is only 26. We got to get over the injury issues. But besides that, not trying to piss you off, man. I'm just having, listen, Charlie, I know, bro. Listen, I don't know how long you've watched the show, Charlie, but I'm a dick. I'm an asshole. And I like to get fired up. And I like to argue with people because I think that's fun and it makes me laugh. So you're a douche, see? And I'm Irish. So there's a great saying when you're Irish that if I don't insult you, that means I don't like you. Because that's what Irish do. That's what we do. We insult people. And if we talk nice about you and we don't insult you, then we don't like you. So people don't get about this show, the fucking morons. See, that means I love everybody. Off Broadway says, what do you see as the immediate need for the Giants? As the most immediate need? See, I'm not one of these people who are going to say guard. I still think you need a running back. I still think you need 3 linebackers and 2 corners and 2 safeties. Hit that like button, people. We won't draft Baines, but he will be good. No, I'm not saying he won't be good, but I told you Jim Bain will be what he's don't trace the ghost man of Dexter. You have a spot for him technically. Yes, but then I am drafting the replacements of the guys I've already had that would give me a fucking headache. We need linebackers who can tackle and cover. You're right. Greg, what's in the Rolling Thunder Best Black podcast? What's in the Rolling Thunder Blast? No, I'm not saying I'm the best Black podcast. I'm in the Black podcast directory. Go figure that one out. And last year, as people know, I was nominated from one of these companies as the best Black podcaster of the year award. Didn't win, but I was nominated. And I thought it was going to be great because I was going to send James Williams up to get my award. I'm Black Irish. Tim is always invited to the barbecue. Yes, I am. I laugh about that because I think I was talking. My wife is Hispanic and Native American. So a lot of times where we live in the middle of nowhere and very country-esque, she's always, the one of, she is the one minority sometimes everywhere we go. And I laugh because we were with some friends and she would jokingly, she goes, well, she never jokes. She goes to me, well, you never felt that way, like out of place by being the only minority, the only person of that color there. And my friend stopped and was like, and then all of a sudden she thought about it and goes, oh shit, you're right. Most of the places we go, but she goes, 98% of your friends are either Black or Hispanic. And then I reminded her of the one barbecue we went to at my buddy's house. It was his son's birthday and they had a bouncy house. And I loved it because we're at the barbecue and we were all sitting there and one of the guys was walked over and he was like, I wanted to meet the only white guy here. So I turn around, I go, where's the motherfucker? So I know. Mike Lee says, actually, Baines was cited for careless driving, more or less slap on the wrist. Yeah, but they made the ticket go away. The ticket got, I forgot what it's called. Let's see here. Off Broadway, the Black Podcast Directory. I can see that. I think you got soul. I got soul. I know I got soul, baby. And you're Irish. Charlie says,
money, pal.
Damn it. Gotta go back. Black podcast director. I can see that. I think you got soul in your eyes. Charlie says.
Draft, baby. Yeah.
Fuck. Still screwed it up. Still fucked it up. Where are we at likewise? I got soul power. All right, where are we at? Where are we at? Because we hit 70 likes. We're at 64, 6 likes away, and someone is going to get an autographed copy of Gary Reason's book. Autographed by All My Big Blue Sports. But you're going to get an autographed copy. Actually, I could autograph it any way you want. Best wishes, Greg, from Vince Lombardi. See, I do whatever you want. It could be whoever you want. Tim is invited, and you can take home the takeout. Well, James and I were in the coaches club, and James always laughs because I know all the Black and Hispanic women that do the cooking. I don't know why. But we were jokingly about taking a chafing dish home of the mac and cheese. And I told James, I said, you know what's funny? I think they would actually let me do that. James says, what's crazy is, Greg, I don't even know a Black podcast directory exists. Neither did I. Let's see here. James says, T-Brad, congratulations. We even wear your darn Wolverine. Albert says, where is the draft party? The draft party, the Giants moved the draft. And listen, they're saying it's because of the World Cup. They're saying this. It's at the Hudson Yards in Manhattan. It's again sponsored by Moody's. I'm probably not going. It's at Hudson Yards in Manhattan. It's on the 23rd. It's from 3:30 to 10. They're calling it a block party. It's free. Usually with the draft party, they limit the number of tickets, but they're not. Don't look like they're limiting the number of tickets. You have to go out and fill out a thing to get the to get your free tickets, to be on the list to get your free tickets. I don't know, man. It's I've been in the Hudson Yards, very nice. I just think it's going to be like a shit show. There's going to be a Jackson Dart Cam Scatterboo lookalike contest. I think I was going to enter that with James. But I cannot see this draft party going well. But it's James, come on a sec. I'm going to talk to you about this contest we're going to join. So what I may do is, I haven't decided this, but what I'm thinking about doing is, I'm thinking about having a draft party, inviting some people, picking a hotel, maybe down to provide the link. What do I look like, Albert? What do you think? On one of these shows that provides links and shit? I don't get any super chats. I don't want super chats. Just joking. There you go. Albert, there you go. But yeah, I'm kind of well, there it goes. There's the link for the draft party. Everyone go to the draft party. It's going to be fun. I'm not going to go. But I'm thinking about I'm thinking about getting a hotel. Cancel. Thinking about getting a hotel and having a draft party. Bringing everybody in for the draft party. Where are we at likewise? Where are we at? Fixing. So nobody wants an autographed copy of whoever you want to autograph it from of Gary Reason's book. So nobody wants this. Best wishes, Albert from Batman. See, I can do it. And it's not what you call it. It's not against the law. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Big T. Man, I was sleeping.
I figured as much.
My phone was fucking ringing. I didn't see who it was, and then I was like, "Oh shit, it was T-Bird. I should have picked it up." And the wife is sitting there going, "Well, why didn't you pick up the phone?" I was like, "I don't know, tired." Wasn't sure. What's up?
The best of us.
What's going on?
Not much, man. Excited for this draft, man. I'm trying to see how they piss me off this year. Excited for this draft.
Why do you think they're going to piss you off?
They always do. It may not be day one. It may not be day two. It could be day 3. There's always moves that you're like, oh man, this guy's on the board. This guy's on the board to be a perfect fit for the Giants. Like, nah, we're good. We're gonna go this way.
We're gonna go another direction.
Yeah, we're not gonna address the running back position.
In round 1, is there a pick at 5 that would piss you off? Is there a guy out there that if the Giants take, you would be like, well, fuck, I know.
I will say this: out of the people rumored to go there, and of the most rumored wide receiver, you get Tate, uh, you get Styles, you get Downs, and you get Love. Of those group of names, yeah, that's classic. I will go One Love. Like, yeah, we got to get One Love by Houdini on there. One Love. Well, if we draft Love, that's got to be the theme music.
I was going to say that I think will be the theme music if we draft.
You're lucky just to have just One Love.
I'm going for that.
I'm ready to do the video and all that. We'll get it done. But
hold on, we have to make the OBB Oreo. Hold on.
There's my man.
T-Brad, you're gonna live a long time. I was just talking about you damn Wolverine. Congratulations.
Go Blue, my 2026 national champs Final Four shirt just came in today.
Oh, there you
I'm
go.
very excited about that.
James and I are waiting for our 2006 New York Knicks championship shirts.
Go get that. Go get that. Thanks, John Starks.
We can go get that anytime. The only problem is we're going to watch all. The gang is all here. We were going to say it again. 70 likes. I'm going to give away a copy of Gary Reason's book, Gary Reason's Reasons to Believe, autographed. And I'm even going to go best wishes from T-Brat and James Williams. So, like I said, I can autograph it any way you want. So make sure you go.
Make sure Gary Reasons approves us signing. I don't want to get sued a lot of ways today.
Listen, if I have to buy a copy of Gary's book and send it to someone, I don't think he's going to complain.
Yeah, we're not going to claim the intellectual property of said book.
We're
signing it so the value goes down.
Here we go. Point guard from Michigan and from Sweden.
Is he?
Oh wow.
You can see you know a lot about your team.
The point guard is from Sweden. Who are you talking about? Cadeau? Who are you talking about? Luxembourg from Pennsauken.
Luxembourg from Pennsauken.
Luxembourg.
He's not from Germany. He's from Pennsauken.
He's from Pennsauken.
James, I was asking T-Brad, is there someone at 5 the Giants could draft that would piss you off?
Oh yeah, I forgot my answer.
Yeah.
I was in mid-answer and James came in. The party started.
Now you're fucking talking about guys from Luxembourg. But T-Brad, who would piss you off? First, I'm going to go T-Brad. T-Brad, who would piss you off at 5?
Probably the wide receiver out of Arizona State would piss me off.
Why would Jordan Tyson piss you off? I think he is the best.
We have enough. I'm not drafting somebody with an injury problem at 5.
I have him ranked 3rd on my list, but I do think he is the best wide receiver. But it's the injury issues that kind of scare me a little bit.
That's the ability is availability, and we're in a fragile spot where we can't.
Well, what else do you think, T-Brad? Well, hold on.
Well, I think he was awesome, so I just want to bring that up.
Sorry.
Did I get bumped out?
No, you didn't get bumped. you got.
Oh, I was like, what the hell? Somebody called me.
No.
But who's that running back from Virginia Tech that we grabbed? He was really good, but then he got hurt.
David Wilson.
Rookie year. Yeah, David Wilson. As much as I liked him as a player, I loved the pick. I thought he was going to be a great running back for us for 5 to 6 years. I don't need to get somebody like Bryson Tiller. He goes up and he's going for one of those wild dart passes over 20 yards, and he's got to make a crazy move and blows out his knee. We've seen that already.
Wow,
somebody who's not injury prone.
That's fucked up.
So if you want him that bad, trade back and get him. I don't feel as bad, but getting him at 5 would probably piss me off.
James, who would piss you off at 5? Right now, we're at 68 likes. We are 2 likes away. You will get an autographed copy of Reasons to Believe, autographed by whomever you want me to autograph it as. But I will send you out an autographed copy of Reasons to Believe.
At this point, if you haven't hit the like button, it's kind of personal. Stop lurking back there and push the button.
Well,
push the goddamn button.
Outside of dropping the memberships, we can never know who's lurking in the chat.
Well, there's always somebody lurking, though.
We're at 69. I can't do that what she said because I was going to do this.
Did you order the code red? I did the job.
Did you order the code red?
You're goddamn right I did.
One of my favorites. Hey,
Sorry.
Tim, you got to get that rush hour soundbite. Yeah, push the button. Push the goddamn button.
I'm going to put it
Oh, the little girl.
I'm going to put it in.
So yeah, somebody hit the like button. You got to push that in. Push the goddamn button.
I'm putting it in my actually I'm lying. I'm just texting it to myself.
There we go.
And I'm still not going to remember to do it.
The ultimate reminder. Yeah, I hate when I text myself stuff and be like, damn, I got to read
I got a lot
text to myself.
I got a lot of shit.
I leave my cell phone red. So don't take it personal.
Word.
I ignore myself.
That's funny.
I'm such a dick. I don't even like myself.
Leave my cell phone red.
I ignore my own text messages. James, 5. Who's
honestly, any wide receiver. Any wide receiver. I don't want to see a wide receiver at 5. I feel like with all the holes we have, we could do Love at the running back. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys have been saying, Brother T-Brad, the one Love, I like that. But I think a wide receiver at 5, no matter.
Nothing. Something T-Brad was saying earlier. I need nothing. Sorry. Now I got something stuck in my head. Shit.
It's a classic, but I think a wide receiver, Carnell Tate, the guy you were talking about, anybody would be a waste at with all the other options out there.
All right, we've hit 70 likes. We are going to do something Giant related to win this. Whoever wants this copy, it's going to be the first person that types in correctly Mississippi.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I'd be an asshole if I go in and type it first, though. I'd be a real asshole.
You gotta do it right.
Hey,
how about
T-Brad wins? What do you know?
M-I-S-S-I. Wait, hold on. Albert was so close. Hold on, wait a minute. I got M-I-S-S.
Albert.
Albert, man, you are so fucking close. All right.
Spell it for real?
Yeah, but a lot of people, Mr. Rodriguez, Slider spelled it right. Mr. Rodriguez, it's a tie. Oh, it's a tie because everyone's coming. I should have had a better. I should have thought about this one a little bit better.
I don't mind a Pia. That's good.
I thought you were going Giants trivia to break the break the tie.
All right, Giants trivia. This Giants trivia question is going to be for. And I'm gonna give it to you, Albert. I'm gonna get this is how we grade. This is how they grade in my son's school. You didn't get it right, but you get a B+ because you tried. So contest is gonna be between Albert Slider, Jay Rodriguez, Charlie Collins, Marcus, Mr. Greg, the other Greg. Out of you guys, if you can answer this Giant trivia question correctly, you win the autographed copy of Gary Reason's Reason to Believe, autographed by whoever I want it to be. Okay, easy Giant question. We'll make it easy. Who was the New York Giants quarterback drafted in 1979?
It was not Daniel Jones. I'll give you a hint.
Who was out of those gentlemen, 1979? Who was the New York Giants quarterback drafted first round?
And he wasn't black.
Well, it was 1979.
That's why he wasn't black.
Slider gets the win with the Phil Sims. Greg,
he spelled Phil wrong. Phil starts with a P.
You got it right.
I know. I'm joking around. Harlem Nights, run with me.
I'm sorry, man.
Work with me here.
I'm fucking tired. Listen, I went all the way to New York to get a stupid bobblehead. Right?
That's called dedication.
Out of Morehead State. You all right, Slider? You win. You win, Slider. Slider's the winner, and I have your address somewhere, I think. Yeah.
When I was young, I used to confuse Morehead State with Morgan State. I was like, wait a minute, Phil Sims went to HBCU? Oh, never mind. Different school.
Now, Phil Sims went to a college where he threw for 1,600 yards in 3 years, and he was drafted, 6 overall in the NFL. Oh, back in the days. Well, if Phil Sims was related to Billy Sims, that would probably be the right way to sell it. All right, Slider. I think Slider, email me at tim@onlineBigBlue.com, tim@onlineBigBlue.com. I'm going to send it to you directly from my Amazon account, and I will throw a little note in there as well. So make sure you do that. Congratulations to Slider. Everyone give Slider a big round of applause. Fun fact, Bill Walsh considered taking Phil Simms. Yes, he actually considered taking Phil Simms before Joe Montana, who went, I believe, in the 5th round.
Ooh.
But he wasn't going to take Phil Simms until like the 4th round, and then the Giants took him. Because Phil Simms had like a 4th round rating.
One of the prettiest spirals in the league.
Yes, at times. You're right. James, you look like you have a day off today.
No, I'm just thinking like horrible draft scenarios I don't want to say out loud because I don't want to put it in the ether.
Well, put it out in the ether. Put it out in the ether.
Yeah.
Put it out in the ether. Go for it. I want to hear it.
I think they'll piss me off 2nd round, not 1st round.
No. I actually don't think we're gonna do anything too crazy this year. I feel like there's so many players that are going to be available there for us at 5 and then we actually have a good brain trust in the building this year that I'm not really worried about it. I don't think we should trade down though. I know we're hearing that scenario, but I think we need a high quality pick that we need to hit on. We've had high quality picks before that are still here, but they weren't like knocked out the park, a la Neighbors. But we need another Neighbors pick, so I don't want to trade down either. I don't want to draft a wide receiver, and I don't want to trade out of number 5.
I would trade down for the right amount of compensation, ensuring I get a certain type of player. Like if I could get Mekhi Lemon at 12, I'm fine. Now, mind you, I have to get crazy compensation to go there. Like I need picks this year, maybe pick next year. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I need because the switch is one thing, but if you're moving up from 12 to 5, you're getting a very specific player. Maybe you want one love.
But the problem is, even with the 1st round value trade card, is all out of fucking whack because there's no quarterback at 5. Right. And there's no elite level position at 5 that teams are going to be willing to give up their swap of a 1st and a 2nd and another pick. This is after Mendoza. I mean, some people thought this was going to be a draft for quarterbacks. It didn't pan out that way. But outside of Mendoza, what are you going to do? Get Ty Simpson? I can get Ty Simpson in late 1st round, 2nd round, maybe even potentially the 3rd round. So there's really the draft trade card to me goes out the fucking window because there's not an elite talent at 5 that you say I have to have that you probably cannot get a little bit later down in the draft.
Imagine the wheeling and dealing we could do had we lost to the Raiders. We just don't know how to tank properly.
Oh, if we would have gotten the first pick, if you would have gotten the first pick, we could have probably gotten 2 1st rounders and another early.
And a firstborn. We might have been able to get the firstborn son. We could have got anything.
You could have gotten something out of that. And I love it. Charlie says trading Dex and Tibbs on draft day would suck too. No. The only reason it would suck to trade Dex is we lose $6 million in cap space because it would have to be a post June 1st trade. So we'd be on the hook for the $13 million in dead instead of just 6. And trading Kayvon, I think Kayvon Thibodeau gets traded on draft day. I've already predicted this.
Yeah, I was gonna say one of them's definitely going.
That's how we're gonna get back in the 3rd round. That's how we're gonna get in the 3rd round. We're gonna trade Kayvon.
Wait, we're giving Kayvon
in the 3rd round.
We're giving Kayvon up, and what else to get that 3rd round pick? Because I'm not seeing people busting down the doors for a guy that's hurt on a 1-year deal that he's an unrestricted free agent next year.
Don't worry. Joe Shane will make.
There's always a sucker in the crowd.
Don't worry,
Joe Shane. Joe Shane will make the Eagles great again. He's done it before.
I mean, if you got a 4th rounder, and I don't think you're going to get more than 1 pick for Kayvon. If you got a 4th rounder that was a conditional 3rd based on, his play, I could see that, but I cannot see you and then you would have to swap that pick in 27, but I can't see any teams right now desperate for a guy coming off an injury, having 1 good season, and is literally on a $14 million guaranteed prove it deal. And is an undrafted and is an unrestricted free agent next year.
Well, he's young.
Yeah, you talk to a lot of dumbass Giants fans. They were like, Kayvon, he had like 11 sacks one year. I'm like, dude, he's not a difference maker. Like, you just sit there and count sacks. I get it. 6 were in one game, but he hasn't progressed, in my opinion. He's the Daniel Jones of defensive ends. But I don't think he's going to get the bag.
And we talked about this before. He is a guy that he had 6 of his 11.5 sacks in what I think was 3 games. And one of the games,
like 3 against Washington.
One of the games was in Seattle, where he had the sack on the first play, and then he had a sack on the second to last play. I mean, it's not like he had, and then we even broke down the stats. He had multitudes of games where he didn't even rank or have a sack for like 3, 4, 5 games in a row.
We have a lot of guys. Well, one of them just left, Papa Smurf. That you look at their numbers. If you really dive into them, their numbers are really only based off like 4 or 5 game stretch. like it's crazy. Like Papa Smurf, his numbers, it's really only like a 3 or 4 game stretch where he did the bulk of that damage. Even drafting Jackson Dart, like he had most of those touchdowns he had his last year in college were like a 3-4 game stretch. Even what you just mentioned, with Kayvon, like he had one big year here in all his years here for a top 10 pick. It's just really funny here. Like T. Brad, I think you said before you came on, we love overvaluing our players, or off Broadway. It's just crazy. Like 3 or 4 game stretches, and it's like, oh, you're all pro.
And then we go. Slider says,
Cam Scatterboo. People don't want to get a running back because we got Cam Scatterboo. What does that do for Cam Scatterboo? I was like, he's not a number 1 running back.
No.
The defensive tackle who moved to linebacker. Who was it, Tim? He's a Hall of Famer and a Super Bowl winner. I don't know. I'm going to go Mike Singletary.
Defensive tackle who was moved to linebacker?
I'm going to go Mike Singletary. I don't know. I'm going Mike Singletary. That's the only thing I can think of. All right, guys. It is. I actually have to go because I have to remember to go get somebody. Don't say anything, James. It's that time of the day. Forget your kids a couple times.
Listen, you already brought up the Boston Celtic bet. I'm telling you right now. Forget
your kids at school a couple times, and everyone gets on your case about it.
Uh-oh. Hey, Tim, what you got for draft day this year? I'm actually going to be available.
Here's the thing. The draft has been moved to Hudson Yards in New York. They're doing a block party. Tickets are free. So I have not decided yet. I may just be I was thinking about just doing a draft party. Just inviting a bunch of people somewhere, Harry Carson. Oh, there we go. Getting a bunch of people together somewhere in Jersey, like we did when we were at the Shannon Rose, and doing some. I haven't decided yet, but like I said, since it's not in the stadium, I don't know if I really want to. I don't know if I'm in the. I was talking about James and going there. Oh God, there's no food. Okay, listen, I gotta go.
All right, brother.
I gotta go. I'm getting text messages. I want to thank everyone. There will be a stream tomorrow, probably about 4:15. Make sure you stay tuned for that. Want to thank Slider, who won an autographed copy of Reasons to Believe, autographed by me. I want to thank James. I want to thank T-Brad for jumping on board as well. I do have to head out of here because I really got to go find some food. And we'll see everyone tomorrow.
Peace.